Well, hello to you too. Give me a second, I'm setting up. Screen shader's turned on. Okay, now it's turned off. Okay. I think it's off. Let me make sure. It's turned on. Is it off? Hello, I've missed you. Well, I have been streaming on Twitch occasionally. I streamed last night for like 2 hours. This is not the right glove. Where is my drawing glove? There it is. And also, welcome, good sir. What time? I don't know. I think I start usually sometimes at 10 now, like 10 or 9. And then work my way down to 12 by the time I'm done streaming. And hell, I even streamed on Twitch earlier, earlier in the morning, night area time at one point. So I don't know. You know. Excuse me. You know what I realized? My voice expired too. What did you realize? I'm gonna work on like a sketch. They took Swing away from Miles. Yeah, not surprised. Nothing seems to break me. How hard I fall. Nothing could make it Wow. I give you everything I need. I give you everything I own. Everything that at least be ours alone. Give you everything I could. Blow up the hell and gone. Compared to Muslim, yeah. Blow up the outside. Blow up the outside. Blow up the outside world. Sorry, I have a lot of Soundgarden in my head right now. I wanted to work on some thumbnails today. Then I'm trying to figure out how to do the perspective. Down. Could really. And also, hopefully, everybody's doing well in the chat. Well, no. Give you everything I need. Give you everything I own. Give you everything that at least be ours alone. Everything I could to pull up the hell and gone. No, other than blow up the outside. Blow up the outside. Blow up the outside world. Doing the perspective so it makes my life easier when I actually have to do the layouting. I wanted to do some sketches and also some thumbnails, so I'm just like doing a rough, like, what's it called, and then I'm gonna do some sketches for some fan art stuff later, because this is like the rough. Sound like you hit puberty when you sing. Yeah, I suck at singing, that's why I don't do it. My sister got all the musical talent in the family. I do not have a good singing voice. I don't know if I saw. Yeah, I'll do. It's like I can't hit those notes. Blow up the outside. Blow up the outside. Blow up the outside world. Hello, Brinzel. I know you're not gonna stay. You usually just come in and say hi and then immediately leave. And also, welcome. The outside, blow up the outside, blow up the outside, blow up the outside world. And also, hey B, how you doing? And welcome in. Also, I'm streaming this both on Twitch and YouTube, so people can go on to either side. I'm doing good. Well, that's good to hear. I am doing alright, mostly. Besides the stupid cough. I'm right now just doing like a layout sketch for a thumbnail. If I can get it right. I don't know. Perspective's not really my forte, so I suck at it. Okay, so I'm gonna switch. Work on that later. Gonna try to work on a fan art sketch, because I did have a cool idea. Also, I do plan on having a couple videos. This is some teasers. I have done a couple things. But alright. What has everyone been up to in the chat, by the way? What have you guys been up to today? Anyone been up to anything interesting? Ninja Gaiden 4 fan art. I'm looking at reference right now. Losing my fucking mind because I missed your streaming. Haha. Well, if I get to 300 subscribers on the gaming channel, I'll be doing a live stream over there at some point. Because I have been trying to get content out over there. Low. My throat. You good? Not really. Still haven't got rid of this stupid cough. I'm not sick anymore. Like, it's out, but I still have this stupid cough. So, it's infuriating. I'm
I'm trying to look for also some reference for like Ninja Gaiden. Ninja Gaiden 4, because I'm really excited for that one. You excited for any games? Ninja Gaiden 4, Resident Evil 9, Ill maybe. That one looks pretty interesting. And stuff like that. I don't think I'm going to be able to do anything for Ninja Gaiden right now, because I can't think for what I want to do. Like, I'm looking at references, but I'm like 50-50, and I'm like, so I guess she said she wanted, with her fan art, I did a little bit of sketching, and I was like not happy with it, so I figured I would try again. No, I have not. Check out the trailer. I will. You'll have to send it to me on Discord. I'll send you stuff on Discord and you haven't replied. Mainly it's just promotional crap when I send you stuff. It's like, oh, I got this out, got this done, shit like that, and I was like, eh. And I figured because you don't use Discord that much, that's a big reason you don't respond. Yeah, I deleted Discord temporarily. That explains a lot. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I am briefly sketching a fan art thing for a friend or somebody I know. I did a little bit of sketching before, but I didn't like some of the designs that I came up with, so I'm like redoing the anatomy and stuff. Focusing like on the anatomy because like I figure that it's gonna be the part that I'm gonna struggle with the most. Hopefully, you know, I don't bleed subscribers just for doing a live stream of something I like, but oh well, you know, that's usually how it goes. We like the it's not a femboy, it's actually a female. I'm just trying to get the anatomy right. I just suck at anatomy. I'm just saying, you know, I don't know. I'm only gonna work on this a little bit temporarily, cause like she's not, you know, gonna see it right now, and I have like a bunch of like fan art things I need to do. And this is like me just doing like rough anatomy sketching and stuff. So like I can go further and like trying to think of like an art style that could really go with you know, the look that I'm going for. Cause she'll, so like that would be like the hair point right there, and then in the center right there. Yeah, this is like a practice, so I'll save that and maybe work on it when I have some free time. Let me think. Bum 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 ba dum bum. Let me check. I did get a Resident Evil, two of them actually. I got one out one day before I left for a bit, and got another one out yesterday. And I'm hoping to get some more out, more videos done, I should say, soon. In general, because I want to try to get semi-regular content out, you know, stuff like that. But it's one of those things where I don't know if I will be able to, what's gonna happen on that front, but it's like, you know, I can't always do everything, stuff like that. So Yeah. I'm going to try to work on some fan art today. Stuff I haven't had time to do. Just sketch or draw or just like try to tweak things that I haven't had the time to do. So it's gonna be one of those things where I just trying to get a little bit done today. Stuff like that. Also, I have been streaming, by the way. I just haven't been streaming as much on YouTube as I used to. I've been trying to stream more on my Twitch, which I really don't have a set schedule out over there, which I do apologize for. I kind of feel bad now because you've been like, oh, when is he gonna stream? When is he doing this? And it's like, well, you stream late. Well, not always. There was one time I was streaming on Twitch like really early. I think it was like around 2 or what's called in the afternoon, and Magni joined, and stuff like that, and like I streamed over there for like, I think from that point till like late in the afternoon before ending it. Because well, I've been like a crack addict searching for crack. Yeah. Ha ha ha. Well, like, if you want, like, check out some of the videos I've put out on the gaming channel. I've been trying to put out more stuff over there once in a while. To the same extent as, like, Degenerate J or anybody else. Because, like, I've been trying to do more editing, more, you know, work. I have, like, a couple videos that I have in mind that I want to do. You know, like, in general, but I haven't done as much because it's like, I wasn't too sure if anybody's gonna watch anything or if I'm just kind of doing this and then, like, nobody's gonna care. So I guess that's why, you know, I've been trying to push the other channel because, the gaming one, not because, like, I don't care enough about this channel anymore. I do. I just kind of stopped, what's the word? I stopped pushing it as much because I feel like, or like putting as much effort, because it's like, I don't, ha 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 ha. Because I don't really, I'm not very consistent over here, and I can't just go and change that because there's no way to be consistent with how it is, over here. So I just decided, well, if that's the case, I'm going to try to be a little bit more consistent with the other two channels. So if you notice, I'm trying to get videos out once a week or twice a week, and at the earliest 3 times. So 3 videos per week on the gaming channel. Now on the art channel, though, it is so hello. I'm trying to get out like a project a month, like one good project that could do super well in a short format or in a video format. But the thing is, I don't really do a lot of videos on the art channel, so I don't really push it on the art only channel for that reason alone. So yeah, I kind of just try to push more to my gaming channel and stuff like that. Because I do have some videos lined up, and I don't know how much of a fan on certain gaming franchises you are. Because obviously I love my Resident Evil, but I actually wanted to break away from the singular format of like a key set of things, like Darksiders, Devil May Cry, Arkham, and stuff like that. I actually wanted to break away from that and talk about other franchises, like I did originally, where I broke away and briefly did stuff around, what's the word? Like brief things, like, what is it called? Shit, I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember. Star Wars Jedi Survivor, like that one. I did an ideas video for that. I love game lore. Sure, like I could do something like that, but I don't know how well it would do. I'm planning on as like a cool different side of thing, because I briefly streamed the Horizon games. So, well, mainly the second one. And I have a video somewhat lined up for doing my ideas for Horizon 3. Like what, you probably briefly saw the thumbnail. But basically, ideas for that, like where could they go for a story, what could they do for additions to gameplay, what would I actually like to see, whatever. I don't know if everybody is a huge, how many people are huge Horizon fans, and that's not something that I usually talk about on the channel. But I wanted to break away from the usual ABC style of content that I do, that I'm boiled down to, and actually break away and talk about my ideas for this, my ideas for that, very similar to what I did for my concept for what is it called? Nightmare Before Christmas game. That I actually thought, okay, how cool would that be to do a Horizon video talking about that, or maybe do other franchises like how I would do a Blood Rain 4, or just random topics like talking about my opinions on Ninja Gaiden 4, doing new walkthroughs that I haven't done before. I actually wanted to do a Road to Resident Evil 9 walkthrough series in the same facet as the Media Cows, with another female friend of mine, but I don't know how well that would do Considering how busy she is, and also considering how it would take me forever just to make the thumbnails, and I still haven't got out Darksiders 5 or Darksiders Walker. Bitchy. I'm not bitchy. She's very busy, not bitchy. Busy. Fucking stutter. She's busy with a lot of stuff. I can't disclose on stream because that's her privacy. But she's busy with a lot, and this is a different female friend. This is not Celeste, by the way. Because I know a lot of people, and especially like women content creators and also other stuff, and they're often not very busy, and it's hard for me to like schedule a time to like record, collab, stuff like that, because of how busy they are. And some of them I know personally, some of them I don't, which kind of sucks, because like I really want to do more stuff with people, you know, like I want to try to branch out and do, you know, collabs and recording sessions and stuff like that with friends and stuff, because I've been doing that a lot recently, which if you haven't seen it, I did like a failed April Fool's Day prank video, like in the same facet and style as like the Vanos crew, because I really love those videos and stuff like that, so that it was a big inspiration for the editing. And the problem was afterwards, it wasn't a problem for her, but one of my best friends got kind of really dickish about it a little bit, and even though it's his girlfriend, but still, I was like, it was starting to get really pissy at me for a while, and it was like, oh well. So it's like that didn't help. But oh well, you know, it's personal business. I don't want to disclose that on stream. It's for me and him to hash out when I get the chance. But right now I'm kind of just letting stuff serenade, because I'm not really too happy about things. Which some of it is my own fault, and some of it is his, but I don't, you know, whatever. But, you know, don't speak on other people's business. I know, but technically it still relates to my own business, so I'm not, like, that's why I'm not saying too much. I'm keeping it to myself. Also, hello Doza. Welcome on the YouTube side. Streaming this to both platforms, so I'm working on fan art and I'm working on other stuff. And also, how are you doing, by the way? Hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully stuff with business is alright and all that jazz. I'm good. What about you? I am alright. Tired mainly, but I am alright. Trying to catch up on work and stuff. Like, I have been focusing a lot on getting videos done recently, so I haven't had much time to work on art. So I figured today I would try to catch up on like fan art stuff, and try to like get some things done that I haven't had the time to do. I am not too thrilled with this. I don't like this. Very weird look. Hold on. By the way, what are your thoughts on RE9, by the way? Just out of curiosity. I want to get your thoughts because I got some of my own, but I want to hear what your thoughts are on RE9 right now. Whose? Well, on hers, but also yours. This is like a question I aim for anyone in the chat. Like, I want to engage with everybody here. So like, Doza can answer her opinions on it, but also you can give yours. Because it's like one of those questions when it comes to Resident Evil 9, like, what are people's opinions right now on it? Because there's a lot of people... Yeah, I don't remember the like horror games or watching. Oh, so you're one of those, huh? Well, there's a reason. I don't speak on other people's stuff. Where did you put the freaking what's it called? Now I can't find it. You put a new message. And now I can't see it. What was it? I don't like horror games, but I don't like being the victim. Oh, I see why. Oh, because the black guy always dies first. that whole cliche. Oh, that's why you don't like him? Shame. Also, Doza, question on your end. Specific question for you. ... What? It's funny. What have you been up to, by the way? Doza. Just out of curiosity. Real ninja got common sense. Ha 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 ha. Imagine. Shut up. Also, I don't get really political on the channel or anything, but I was looking at the news earlier today, and I did see something interesting that caught my eye. That Mark Ruffalo, if you guys know who that is, you know, the Hulk himself, he's actually did like an interview thing for what was going on, like with the whole people demonstrating, and he was actually a part of that. So I would say good on him when it comes down to you know, stuff. I don't really vouch for either side right now, but like, I just wanted to bring that up because it's like not too bad. You know, it's one of those things where it's like, good on him, you know. I don't really like to, because like, political wise, the riots, or no, just the demonstrations, they're not really riots. For now, about RE9, I think some people speak that it says Leon will be the main protagonist, but it shows Grace, so it could be possible. No. It's Grace. There's a lot of people that are just having theories. It's the big reason why I did... You mean the Republicans or the Democrats? I mean, like, in general. If so, like, I don't care. Yeah, I'm in that minority. I don't care. It's more like, I'm just saying that good on people for, like, using their freedom of speech peacefully, and, you know, demonstrations going on right now against what stuff's going on. I don't really care on the politics front, because, like, I'm not one on either side, because it's like, for me, I'm not much of a politics person, because it's like fandoms, to put it lightly. It's toxic, and it gets worse. Either side sucks sometimes. So yeah. But back to Doza, what you said about RE9. It is Grace. Grace is the protagonist. I believe that Leon will take a Ada-like role. Maybe. It's not confirmed that he's in the game. Like I said in my video on theories on who's the guy beneath the hood, I do not like the idea of Leon being the guy under the hood for a multitude of reasons. And I think I stated them pretty clearly in my video. And it's basically would be repeating what they did with RE5, and nobody wants that. But yeah. And on the Twitch side with what you were saying, hold on. Let me look if I can find it. Hold on. Add a refresh chat. Hold on. Because sometimes, like, messages do not pop up for some fucked up reason. Like I said before, if politics wasn't necessary to know, I wouldn't know about it. Yeah. Yeah, it's like, it's necessary because you have to learn or listen to, and because it might affect you, and that's really the main thing for it. But outside of that, it's just a bullshit spectrum. It's kind of like, I kind of align with the George Carlin point of view about politics. It's a big reason why I haven't voted in so long. Because it's like the shit they shuffle around every couple years. You know, in general. So yeah. Yep. You have to care somewhat, but yeah. On RE9 though, I think I made my point clear I did release a new video, Doza. You probably already saw it because I saw you reposted it, which I really appreciate, on Twitter. But like I said, with the things that it needs to do better, RE9 needs to... The biggest thing that I feel like it needs to do better is be scary. The game, like RE8, how do I say this? RE8 really was not scary. It was basically first person RE4. I know people don't like that comparison, but when you look at the idea of Resident Evil 4 in general, and compare like the mechanics in RE8, it's somewhat different, but also it's pretty much the same. The story is somewhat similar to RE4, but the thing is, it's changed around to be more in line with like the old folk tales in Germany. So like you have Donna Viniento, you have all the like classic like Heisenberg and all that shit. So for me personally, I have conflicting feelings about RE8. Because I do enjoy it, but I enjoy it to a certain extent. RE8 is one of those mixed bags for me Let me turn off my Bluetooth headset. Hopefully this turns it off. Because here's my problem with RE8. My problem is that RE8... RE7 was such a success, right? People loved it. You know, it brought back survival horror. It did have flaws when it came to its enemy variety, issues with the main character, story, stuff like that. That's fine. The problem was that RE8, because people found RE7 to be too scary, they dialed it back to the point where it's not even scary anymore, it's just action. And the story is so convoluted that it doesn't make any fucking sense. And that was really my biggest problem. And a lot of the core mechanics that made RE7 what it was got removed. Either in its entirety, or just because, you know, they suck. The people that were just, like, they didn't even think about it. Because RE7 had the backpack system, and they removed it. RE7 had, you know, certain things, you know, when it came to the map being connected, but also good puzzle variety, good backtracking, a halfway decent but still simple story, and a good mystery. RE8 doesn't have any of the things that made 7 how good it was. 8's not scary. 8 doesn't have any of the stuff that made 7 as good as it was. Like, legitimately, when you look at the characters in 8, the only memorable one that fans really liked was Lady D, for obvious reasons. Anything beyond that is just gone. Like, just the only reason people liked Lady D is just the sex appeal, and just, you know, people were raunchy and weird. But when you look at 7, you had each of the bakers who had a unique personality. Shut up. You had each area having a unique facet of horror to it. So you had the main baker house with Jack, and it was like slasher horror, being stalked, almost levels of horror that you would see in The Shining, right? That type of stuff, and that was awesome. You get to the other house, the one with Marguerite in it. It's bug horror. It is a little bit Saw-like, because you do start stuff with, like, the tapes and stuff, and then you get to Lucas, where it's more psychological, and Jigsaw level of horror, where you're stuck in death traps and you're having to do this or that. And RE8 doesn't have none of that. From RE5, games started to become more action than horror itself. And I agree with that. That was like, I think, no, RE5 didn't set that in motion. RE4 did. RE4, I believe, was more action than it was really scary when you look at the way it's designed. Because, yes, it is scary to some extent, but it's really not when you look at stuff. I believe that RE4 Remake is actually more scarier than RE4 Classic. I would say RE4 really set the action trade into motion than 5 did. 5 really just expanded on 4's foundations. And I feel like that was a problem. But rolling back to what I was saying, 7
7 had so much unique stuff, right? When you really look at it and you compare the two, 7 was very much dark. It was very much a mysterious, like, you don't know what's going on. You're just being dropped in to this world, brand new character, like a baby almost. Yeah, if you tried the original classic trilogy, it was so scary. I need to. I would say that the original series, yes, it was scary, but I would say that even it, from what I've seen, did lean into some action-heavy elements a little bit in certain bits. Like, Resident Evil 2, in some aspects, did. Resident Evil 3, same thing. So, like, there was action moments sprinkled into those, like, horror experiences in the classic games. When you really look at it. And I feel like with 7 really was this, like, a very much a survival horror, first-person, scary experience, right? 7 was basically, you get dropped in, you're playing an everyman character, you're just trying to rescue your wife, you get wrapped into this mess, and you're trying to survive. Like, hell, I think the weirdest thing is, like, certain things weren't explained. Like, if Jack cuts off your legs or stuff, like, you have to reattach it with the goop, and, like, Ethan never questions it. But, like, they try to explain that whole thing in, like, 8, but a lot of people, including myself, never even encountered that part. When you look at 8 as a whole, or 7, you know, whatever. Unless you're on higher difficulties, when that's happening a lot, which that's when I actually encountered it. I feel like if I really wanted to say that 8 really was a step down in many ways, I feel like 8 could have been a lot better if it really expanded on 7's foundations. I feel like 8 really just tried to be like 7 to some extent, but it also was trying to be a folktale thing. It was trying to do this, it was trying to do that, and I feel like it really didn't know what it wanted, and that's, like, that was a problem. 7 really just said, okay, we're going to make it really realistic. I got a question. Alright, shoot. But I'm going to expand on my point here. 7, Capcom decided, okay, we're going to stick us in Louisiana. You're going to be freaking stuck in a house with a bunch of scary, half-mutated, deranged hillbillies, and you have to survive. Like, you don't have to deal with zombies, you're having to deal with possessed people. Stuff like that. Do you think a healthy conversation could be had on Twitter? Yes. I have had healthy conversations with people. Hell, I have actually met friends through Twitter. Whether it's artists or just in general. I've actually met a couple friends through that, website. So, like, having civil conversations at some points can be had, but there's a lot of points when you really think about it, Twitter can be pretty bad to be on, because, like, how toxic people can be and how annoyingly frustrating it is to just, stuff like that. What about healthy debates? That's where things can... It depends on the person you're talking to. That's really the thing. It's like, that's really the Russian roulette of that, is with Twitter. It depends on the person. Because on Twitter, most people are just looking for an excuse to be a jackass. So, yeah. TBH, bro, the baby monster in Resident Evil 8 was so damn scary as hell. Yes, it was. But that was the only moment that was scary in RE8. That's the thing. When you really look at the entirety of RE8, the only part that was scary was that moment. And that was really the biggest problem that I had. Well, without being called a Nazi or racist or homophobic, yeah, that depends. That depends. But that happens anywhere. Like, that happened. Hell, you saw what happened with me on YouTube with that one guy that was being a dick. Which, ironically enough, since he did that, I honestly think it's hilarious. You know, people are quick to do that. Yeah, they are. Because, you know, he fucked off, but still. He didn't really get my goat as he thinks he did. It was more just like, I do not want to deal with you. And you're laughable. You're a grown man bitching and telling me that I don't got a job, I don't got this, and you're sitting there having enough time to, you know, whatever. You can even just have preferred to get called that stuff. I don't give a shit. If he wants to call me a bunch of things, he can. I don't give a fuck. But rolling back to the whole point of this whole conversation, because I keep getting sidetracked. I personally believe, Resident Evil 8, if I was in charge, I would have said fuck the fans. All the fans that bitched about Resident Evil 7 being too scary, I would have put out 2 middle fingers and said fuck you guys. And I would have leaned in more into what made 7 what it was. Because when you look at the fundamental flaws of RE8, the gameplay is a direct copy of 4. The foundations is practically based on 4. There are no puzzles. The map is... The actual village itself is very cluttered and really doesn't make much sense. And when you actually drop in, there was points where I did not even know what to do. The enemy variety, at points it was a step up, but also a step down. The pacing of the levels, like, especially with how the game is set up with its story structure and stuff like that, Lady D's castle feels like you're being pushed through it, and you really don't... I feel like... RE8, basically, especially with Lady D's castle, to be... what was that? Hold on. A horror game should be scary, but also monetizable. Yes, but I feel like... 8 could have been scarier, but also but still been monetizable, because when you look at how much people tried to make Lady D very you-know-what, it's kind of hard to sit there and use that argument when you look at what Capcom leaned into when it came to 8. I personally would have handled 8 very differently, because something that they got rid of, which I don't even know why they added it in 7, just to get rid of it and not do anything with it, and that is the choices. In 7, it felt pointless. Because, like, whether you choose Mia or choose, what's her name, it's still not going to really impact your ending too much. Like, you're going to survive, and, you'll make it regardless. And the DLC would expand on it, but if you choose the other ending, the DLC doesn't expand on it and whatever. I feel like that was the fundamental problem that was really set up with the DLC, is that I feel like 7 really screwed this up, is that how it handled the choice system. I feel like 8 could have made the choices actually matter, especially the ending choice. This moment, with the ending moment in Resident Evil 8 with Heisenberg, actually does set, it could have worked to change your ending, having 2 different endings. If you refuse, basically, you get the standard ending, you deal with Chris and stuff like that. But what if you choose to align with Heisenberg? That would have been interesting, because that would have changed the fundamental things, the fundamental whatever of the ending with Rose when it comes to the next part of the DLC. Because something that really bothered me with 8 and its story and stuff like that is the whole thing with Ethan being a whole fucking... It's almost like Ethan was treated like Spider's Man, if anyone knows that reference, where the spiders or whatever consume Peter and they actually believe that he is him, in the same facet as the symbiote storyline of what if he actually kept the symbiote, and it would have eventually consumed him. Basically, that's what Ethan became. Because Jack basically, and Alex Mercer, yeah, him too. Basically, that whole thing, that whole element of the story, I felt like if it was real, like, it was set up, but it was like really dumb. Because obviously, I feel like if you're gonna set something like that up, that Ethan actually did die, and then, like, a part of him never... It would have made sense to at least make it to where... Can you please zoom out, please? Alright. Fair enough. And also, thank you. I'm trying to think. Hell yeah. I feel like, for me personally, because I actually have to zoom in, because I have to, draw. It's already enough. 10 seconds is already enough. Ha 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 ha. I have to draw the hair. Thanks for the 10 seconds, it was already enough. Ha 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 ha. Here. There. Happy. It's just a rough fan art for a friend anyways. Plus, I need to take a break and, like, do a different one anyways. And also, welcome... I'm just gonna call you Jin. Who's that friend? Someone I know. It was originally planned as a fan art for her on Easter, but I never got a chance to, like, finish it and work on it, so I ended up, taking a break, and I never got back to it. So she is someone I met through Twitter. She's amazing. And occasionally I'll call her once in a while. But yeah, well, that sounds very cool. Yeah, she's amazing. She's awesome. Easter? Yeah, I started all the way back in Easter. It was supposed to be for that. Have you ever played Dino Crisis? actually, no. That's one game I have not played, actually. Surprisingly, it's a Capcom franchise, and I've never actually... I need to. Aw, yeah, haha. And I've been meaning to play it for a while. Trying to think. I wanted. This is one I need to work on for Darksiders 3. I call it weird when I first saw it. Haha. Well, I've also was working on something else for her too. And now I think about it. Hold on, let me show you guys. So, occasionally I'll do art for people. So, I had an icon planned for her. I literally need that image you drew there for personal reasons. Ha 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 ha. No. Because like me, she's a big Devil May Cry fan. And besides gaming stuff, Doza. Hold on, let me check on YouTube. Besides gaming stuff, are you a movie fan? Oh, of course. I love movies. I've been paying attention to some things, but honestly, certain other things not as much because of really not liking what's coming out. Like, there's not much to look forward to, right? So, outside of a couple things, there hasn't been a lot. The Guillermo del Toro Frankenstein movie that they're gonna do on Netflix, I am watching that shit. I'm a big Guillermo del Toro fan because of his Hellboy and also Pinocchio and all that stuff he's done. So I want to see that. And outside of that, there really isn't much. Like, Spaceballs 2 got announced, and that looks cool. But I never saw the original, so I don't, know. But this fan art, Superman, okay, fair enough. Okay, I'll take that back. Superman, I am excited for, but I'm also pissed. And not for the reason you think I am. Before someone calls me a Snyder fan, fuck you. That's not the reason why I'm pissed. I'm pissed because I was a big fan of the CW Tyler Hoechlin Superman, and CW and the whole thing with DC and Warner Brothers and all that shit got that show canceled and cut short with the 4th season. So I wish that we got to see more of that, because I really like that version of Superman. Like, I really love that. So, yeah, that's another reason. But this icon, this is for her. Like, what was your favorite movie? I don't personally have one. Like, there's so many. and I would feel old if I mentioned all the ones I grew up on. So, but yeah, this is her icon that I'm working on. It's a rough sketch. You would have Dante, Virgil, her demon form in the background, and her. So yeah, and I also have. Hold on. I'm trying to find another one. I have this. This is a fan art. Another one I have of Raimi from the Dragon Tamer fan comic I wanted to do. I have the anatomy pose as well, and I thought Henry Cavill. No. Henry Cavill is the Snyder Superman. This is just like the rough anatomy. I wanted to try to do like a Japanese dress and stuff. I'm watching your stream with one hand right... Ha ha ha. No. I love Pokemon. Yeah. My sister loves Pokemon, but I never really got into, got into it. Whoa. Yeah, indeed. Because I am eating with the other one. Uh-huh. Right. Right. Mm-hmm. Yes. Right. Ow. Need to go to the doctor at some point, get my chest looked at. Damn it. I'm trying to think. I got other fan art stuff I need to do. Stuff like that. Do you have some artwork about some movie stars? Because I'm eager to see that. The only art piece I ever did, movie star wise, was like a pencil drawing of Chadwick Boseman being Black Panther. Also, what happened to your chest? It's not really what happened to it. It's like, because this cough hasn't went away, I want to make sure, like, stuff's alright, and I need to get, like, myself checked anyways. And stuff like that. But that drawing is on the community page on YouTube, on the main channel. So, if you guys want to see that, or if you want to see, like, star stuff, that drawing is there. I want to make sure some stuff. So yesterday I did work on this right here. So occasionally I'll do thumbnails on my tablet so you guys can see. I do have a video lined up for Horizon. So I don't know too many people that are Horizon fans. If they are, if they aren't, cool. Also, Jen, I was joking. Cool if you're eating. Chillax, have fun, whatever. I'm just messing with you, fucking with you. That's why I did the right part, because when you were saying the stuff earlier. So, yeah. But yeah, I've been working on, I get thumbnails done occasionally for videos. So I did do like a fan trailer for Alice Asylum. I obviously credited for some of the clips. This video is not done, but I wanted to talk about if he's coming back. And this video is already released on the gaming channel. And this is like a practice sketch, because I occasionally will do layouting for like actual drawn thumbnails, because like I like to draw my own thumbnails once in a while. So like stuff like Epic Mickey, Devil May Cry, whatever, I like to draw them. My problem is that process does take a very long fucking time. So yeah. What else? Trying to think. Also, this needs to go all the way to the thumbnails. I don't know why this is still here. Trying to think. What should I work on now? I have all day. So, I don't know if I can work on, or what I can work on. Fuck it. I might work on like, I could work on this rough sketch, but I don't know. What do you guys think? What should I work on? I'm gonna put a poll on the Twitch side of things, if I can, so you guys can vote with do it with Stream Manager. Give me a second. If I can figure out what option it is, because they've updated the well, I don't know how to set up a poll, apparently. I don't have one. Shit. I don't know how to set up a poll. I don't know how to do that. For some reason, there's an option for it, but I don't know how to indirectly actually set one up. So, I guess I'll just fucking do whatever, I suppose. Eeny, meeny, miny, fuck you. There you go. What was I saying before? I got sidetracked because I was, like, responding. What was I saying? Oh, right. Resident Evil 8. How would I do things? Well, Resident Evil 8, for me, I would change some things while also keeping a lot the same. Let's see. What is she doing? Okay, no, never mind. Hold on. Let me look at my channel. Sorry. Sidetrack. Sorry. I know who the that's directed towards. Ha. Shut up. No, it was more eeny, meeny, miny, F you, because I'm trying to figure out what I'm trying to fucking draw today, because I'm bored. Not really bored, but trying to figure out what to do next. Also, did Jin actually did Jin give me a follow at all? If not, it's all right. Shut up. Oh well. I'm trying to think. How would I do RE8 differently? I'm really trying to think on this, because I was like, I want to know, I'm trying to think on how to approach it. This artwork about DMC's Netflix is pretty... Thank you. Thank you so much. Hold on, let me... Do you have, yeah, the white rabbit looks cool. Thank you. Yeah, it's getting there. I wanted to get, like, a very realistic, but also, like, unique, where it's, you know, I never ended up finishing it because I never had the time. But I wanted to really have some fun with it and, do some unique stuff. Obviously, I have to, like, balance. Like, I wanted to mix together, like, a style, like, styling stuff, taking some influence from a friend. She's an artist on Twitter. She occasionally will do, like, hyper-realism digitally, but also, like, 2D. And I'm trying to mix together that style. To some extent.
Um, trying to think. Uh, Trying to think on what what would I do? What would I do? I guess maybe I would. Well, obviously, I would take out a lot of the RE8s, not RE8, but all of the RE4 stuff with the things. So basically getting rid of, like, the more action sides of stuff that RE4 is known for. And basically replacing that. With the survival horror stuff, like, the backpack system would be changed up a little bit and upgraded, obviously. But tweaked enough to be different from the original RE7. But later on, you would actually get more of, like, a system that's fusing the backpack system with the suitcase system from Resident Evil 8 originally, which I think would make the most sense anyways. What else? What else? What else? I would actually do one thing that'd be controversial. I would have it to where the game could open differently. So here's what I would do. Now, this is me. And maybe I'm nuts. Maybe I'm weird, whatever. I would basically, I would
have it to where the ending of like her dying, the ending of her dying and stuff like that, would actually be canon. So like you have two different ones: the ending where she died, and the ending where she's alive. If she dies, Ethan is remarried. He's a lot more closed off, but he's still open. And regardless of whether it's what's her name or this new woman, he still ends up having a daughter, being Rose. Regardless of who it is, he still has Rose. And I like this. The unfinished artwork looks the unfinished game slots. Yeah. Yeah. Basically, what my idea would be is that the game would open up practically the same. You know, differences between both. If she is alive, I like the idea. This was an original pitch that they had for the character of, what is her name? The fuck is her name? What is her name? Because they had it to where she was paralyzed in a wheelchair. In RE7, Ethan's wife. What is her name? I gotta look this up. I can't remember right now. Ethan's wife, Resident Evil. Okay, Mia. There you go. Mia, and where she is alive, where if you choose either ending, would be different. So like, Ethan, if Mia's alive when she's basically Miranda's, whatever, she would still be in that like wheelchair type stuff, but also having like little things to help her walk around to make it look. Shut up. Don't start. And basically, because I like this idea that Mia was actually hurt and stuff by everything that happened in RE7. It never made sense to me why that never, like, Ethan's the only one that died. He's the only one that really fucking stuff happened. And it always bothered me to some extent. And I felt like, okay, well, how would you fix that? Immediately, the first thing I would do is Mia, when Miranda is like pretending to be her, obviously she's different a little bit personality-wise. But also, she would still have that handicapped look, but it feels like she's more leaning into it more compared to the way it was originally. With Miranda. I feel like that it would make sense. But with the other woman, it would be like practically what we got with practically what we already had with Mia in the original game, but done a little bit differently. Where Miranda as her would be a lot more flirtatious and also kind of more like, how she was as that version of Mia in RE8. What else? Same thing happens in both ones, but I feel like there would be more of an emotional reaction in the second ending with Chris killing the other woman as well, like when he kills the new wife, because it's like at that point I feel like it would be more interesting, because either way, Ethan's gonna still be distraught, but I feel like the second one he would be a lot more rageful. If you begin the game with like Mia already being dead at this point, whatever. I feel like it would make sense, and I think it would be cool if they had it to where, you know, Ethan has some rage towards Chris at this point, because, like, if the second ending, like, if Mia's already dead, he builds this life, he keeps secrets, but he's remarried, he has a daughter at this point, and he's happy. Chris comes in, kills that new wife. At least that's what he thinks happens. He kills the woman the new woman, and because he's already lost Mia at this point, and then Chris just up and takes his daughter. I feel like that would be a little bit more better. So it differentiates how Ethan is in both playthroughs, where in one he's angry, frustrated, and confused, and the other he's just like pissed because he just wants his daughter back, and he wants to get Chris, and he wants to know what the fuck is going on. And I feel like that would be cool to lean into. And I might expand on that, because I did do a video a long while back. A very long while back. Of how I would do, like, how Resident Evil 8 should have been done. And I was never really happy with that video. For a multitude of reasons. Whether it was just audio issues and glaring stuff. And I felt like if I was to redo that again, I feel like the plot section would be done completely differently at this point. Because I would have a better understanding of what to fix going from RE7. Especially when you think about 8 as a whole, with its fundamental ways, or the fundamental story that it's trying to tell, where it's leaning into like that whole caricature of like Rosemary, Monroe, Heisenberg, Dimitrescu, like those types of like old money type names, but also names from literature. And I feel like that's something you could lean into a little bit, but I feel like they leaned into it too far, where it was more of a heavy reliance compared to like something like RE7, where the characters were original, but also fairly unique at the same time as well. And I feel like that's something you could really have fun with. Like, I don't have a problem with it. Because, like, I feel like it's still cool, you know? But I feel like it was not handled the best. And, and I do think that it would differentiate your playthroughs playing A, B, and whatever, right? So this way, if you play on this one, you do this, whatever. You play on that, you do that, whatever. I feel like that would make things a little bit more interesting. So it differentiates your playthroughs heavily. And I actually like this idea, because it actually ends up making the ending and the choice mechanic that they introduced in 7 have more of an impact. Because it felt like they ditched it because they didn't know what to do with it. The problem with that is that you had so much potential to expand on that. Like, yeah, it's black and white. You can choose this person or that person, this, whatever. But I feel like if you're calling the game RE Village, the village doesn't really play much of a role outside of being like the Ganados village in Resident Evil 4, and the Lycans be treated the same way, and you don't even interact much with the villagers outside of like that one fucking cutscene. And they just end up getting killed, and you're just throughout the game just by yourself. Like, yeah, 7 did the same fucking thing, but at least 7 still had it to where, in the ending, the side character, the one that's actually helping you, one that's still around, you know, whatever. I gotta go now, but I'm so tired. Take care of yourself. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, have a good one. If I don't mean to always blabber. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be a bore if I, blab on and stuff. So I apologize for that. But you take care of yourself. And I'm still here. Yeah, I know. On Twitch. I will say, though, I will probably be ending the stream sometime soon, though. Because I'm going to probably raid into somebody and whatever. Yeah, keep yapping. But, because I do need to get some recording done today. And I also need to try to get some stuff done off stream. Because this actually brings up a cool idea. No, not like that. I'm just saying of work, and that's all. Oh, alright, well, you're good. I'm sorry. Because sometimes I know I talk a lot, and I can probably get on people's nerves, and I have been told that on stream before. There's, like, somebody came into the stream just to tell me, like, all you do is bitch all the time. You bitch about this, you bitch about that. Shut the fuck up, or, you know what, I'm just gonna unsubscribe, whatever. And it was like, okay, what the fuck? So I was like, alright. So, yeah, I've I've been told I blab too much. Well, this is your channel, true. But, some people don't like hearing constant bitching and stuff like that, and I can understand that. So that's why I was like, oh, crap. You can talk as much as you want. Yeah, true. I will say, when it comes to, like, 8 and how I would handle things, the choices would matter. That's the first thing. It would be a survival horror experience. And also, it would lean towards action more towards the tail end to some extent, but yeah. No, I really do enjoy listening to you. The funny comics you're funny. Yeah, I try. Ironically enough, I don't know, did you see the Resident Evil video? The one I did for, like, the 9 things that Resident Evil 9 needs to do better than Resident Evil 8? The middle of that, the second thing that I bring up is that it needs to be scary. There is a brief section that I knew I wanted to put in that video just because I wanted to be a dick to all the people that said are wuss pusses about RE7. And it was basically a clip, 2 clips actually. One of them basically saying, I said, well, I only have one thing to say about that. It cuts to a guy reading a note. It says, oh, you're a pussy. And then it cuts to the Soldier Boy bit, and he's like, and I have like a little tagline on his head. It says, me. It says, you want to know what I do when and I cut it, and it's like, scared? Fucking nothing. Because I'm not a fucking pussy. And it's like, it's basically me saying, I'm not a pussy. You guys are wusses. Get over yourself. Even if I'm scared, I still play the fucking game. I deliberately have that funny little way of editing things because I have to think about it throughout the videos. Like, I want a laugh moment at certain points. I don't want it just to be me saying this. I want some funny little gags that might get a laugh out of people watching it. I'll take the advice. Yeah. I just, like, I'll throw those in mainly just to get a laugh or just to antagonize as like a joke thing. Like, I'll do it with intros, but I try to also do it with midpoints in videos as well. I'll grow a new pair. Shut up. But yeah, no, I how do I say that? I like doing that because it's like my way of like joking around and not having the video be filled with just blah 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 blah. There actually is like funny memes or edits thrown in there for funny little gags. And I like doing that. Like, that's my way of like communicating straight to the viewer just to have some fun.
Yeah.
And I like doing that once in a while because it's like, it's really fun to do. Like, I like doing those like very funny, you know, gags. Okay, well, bye for now. All right, Doza, have a good one. Have a good day at work, or get some rest, or hydrate, or whatever. And have a good night. Well, it's nighttime for you. It's like still day up for me. But because I have been streaming for, how long has it been? How long have I been streaming for? Hold on, let me check. On Twitch. I have been streaming. I'll be watching. Yeah, I know you would. But not for long, considering I've been streaming for an hour and 55. So, in a couple minutes, I'm going to raid on the Twitch side of things into somebody. Yeah. I'm gonna pick somebody random, who cares, and I'll raid into them. You guys can watch them on the Twitch side. Don't want to, perfectly fine. But I am gonna have to in a bit, mainly just because I need to get some side stuff done, because I gotta get, what's the word? I have to get a bit of what's the word I'm looking for? Personal projects and also recording sessions done, because I do have the Horizon video that I need to either re-record, tweak, figure out script-wise, and also I need to get sketches figured out for like future projects where I'm not. Why is this not? Whatever. I'm not gonna deal with that. Whatever. But yeah, no. So yeah, I'm trying to think. Oh, fuck, my back. My back! Oh. I gotta get sketches, whatever done. So, I'm trying to think. Because it does give me an idea of like redoing. Back is nothing to play with. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, my spine hurts. But yeah, no, I'm gonna try to work on some stuff after later on. So I am gonna raid into somebody. Hold on, let me just a second. If I can find, because they have changed the fucking ways you do raids on here, and I pisses me off. Hold on, I'm trying to find it. Hold on. Give me a second. What they've done is they've changed the fucking ways raids work. And it's very frustrating. So it's a big reason why I get annoyed. Especially with the Twitch mobile app. So it's like, eh. So I'm constantly have to make sure I'm doing something right or tweaking it. No. There we go. We'll rate him. I'm gonna, hopefully the raid goes through. I'll wait a couple minutes, make sure. But, I'm done for the day. I'm gonna try to rest my back, get some recording sessions done, tweak some things, all that jazz. Try to work on some sketches, make some notes, bunch of stuff. Well, yeah. Have a good rest of you guys' night, morning, whatever it is for you guys. And let me check. I want to make sure that it's working, just to be certain, because the Twitch raids usually don't work. But, but yeah. Peace out, and bye-bye. Well, hopefully it's worked. I don't know if it did, because I can't see. I'm waiting for it to load up on his end, but if it don't... Well, the thing is that they've changed it to the point where I can't tell when the raids genuinely work, because there is like, used to be a countdown for when the raids, what's it called? They got rid of that. There we go. Okay. Peace out. Bye-bye.